some radio playing in the background, right? You're home, Mama.
No,
I can
hapana,
hear some.
imagine.
Hauna radio kwa
Let me.
nyumba?
It's that. Let me wear some earphones.
Okay.
So, nice to
Hi,
see you.
Patrick. How are you?
I'm really good.
Thank you.
It's amazing, you know. You know, I'm always like, I've always loved your acting and your everything. You got it, man. I love it.
Thank you. Appreciate.
Yeah. I'm
Appreciate.
glad to have this conversation tonight.
Thank you for having me as well.
Yeah, great. All right. So, once you guys are ready, we can roll, right? So, Daisy, are you set?
Yeah, I'm here.
Daisy, so maybe we can have a quick introduction
Okay.
from Gerard, and Gerard, you do an introduction, and then we run this conversation
Okay.
about yourself.
How much info should I give out? Maybe like Guerrero Ago, I'll start looking for 1 hour. I'll open my Wikipedia page and start reading. Anyway, Gerald is I don't know. He's an actor. Professionally, he's an actor. He's a casting director. He's a location scout. He's a filmmaker, producer once in a while, director once in a while as well. That's pretty much it. As a human being, Gerald is, I don't know. I think a bubbly, funny. I think I'm funny. I've been told I'm funny so many times. I don't know how true that is. But yeah, outgoing, love making new friends, love meeting people, love talking. I talk a lot, but they have to like stop me after every 2 minutes. Tell me, Gerald, enough, breathe. But yeah, that's pretty much who I am. I'm a father, I'm a husband, and yeah, that's pretty much, I think, there is to the introduction. I hate introducing myself. I'm always awkward. Like, you don't know what to say. Is this an interview?
An audition.
It's like, yeah, put like an audition, like, hi, please introduce who we are. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much who I am.
Amazing, great. So, maybe I'll let Daisy maybe start also do a quick introduction, and then we'll go to the discussion.
My name is Daisy, an entrepreneur, an actress, because Langiri says I have to add it on my profile, so I'm also an actress.
Celeb.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm single.
Oh yeah. Nai quarantine. Nai quarantine. Hauna quarantine partner?
No, hakuna.
Pole sana. Pole sana.
I'm moving in it. I'm doing it.
So that's all, Daisy.
Yes, that's all for me. I'm a. I don't.
Okay. Amazing, so good. Maybe also I can, because this is no interview, this is like a conversation.
Yes. Who is Patrick?
Who is Patrick? So I'm just a young person like Gerard, but Gerard is like my true brother. I mean, senior brother. So
Umesimzee sana hivyo.
Yeah. So wesimzee sana. Najua
umesimzee sana.
Yeah. So I'm also a father, only a father. So, what else? I'm passionate about community. Let me just put it. Anything to do with community. This can be health, this can be socio-economic issues affecting people. So that's how I want to be actually introduced. Yeah, or to be. Thank you for joining the conversation. Is this just a conversation? There's no kind of formula for this one. So I'd like maybe Daisy to run it. We run it. We just have fun.
A freestyle.
Okay, great.
So my first question to you would probably be like, tell us what it was like growing up for you. you know, from when you were young, and basically any patterns that you saw in your life, or just basically how did you grow up and how did you get to where you are now?
Who, Patrick or me?
You.
Well, how did I grow up? Well, that's a very interesting question. One, I was born and raised in Mombasa. So mimi ni Mswahili, watu wa Mombasa kama wanaangalia, karibuni kwa show. Mimi ni Mswahili. I was born and raised in Mombasa in a family of 3 children on my mom's side. I say on my mom's side because my dad also kind of had many other children out there. I stopped counting when I got to 8. And yeah, so pretty much grew up and raised by a single mom. We weren't really, I wouldn't say rich, I wouldn't say middle class. I wouldn't quite say poor as well, because I don't remember a night when we ever slept hungry. But I remember when we struggled to get that food. I remember walking to school sometimes, and that could be distance, like a long distance between me and my sister. I remember selling jugus at some point just to get fare to get to school. I remember, so my childhood was humble. Let me say that it was really humble. Again, seeing my mom struggle trying to raise us, 3 children, you know, by herself. It was quite a journey. Luckily for her, things kind of changed, and things kind of changed along for her eventually, and we kind of became, you know, better off than most. But yeah, my childhood, although as well was masked with so much laughter. I remember our family is one of those families which, kama ungegiliwa, by the way, if you didn't have a tough skin, ungelia kila siku, because then we make light of every situation. And I think that's how I've kind of grown up. And my friends kind of look at me like, wewe kwani uone mtu amekufa? I'm like, yeah, amekufa, lakini I wouldn't alikufa ni kwa funny. I'm one of those people who'd make a joke out of something as disastrous and as sad as it should.
Yeah.
Every sad and bad situation happening to you, because again, we were always told everything is temporary, and that is how my life kind of was. Everything for me has always been temporary. The good times are temporary, the bad times are temporary. So whenever you're having one of those moments, just cherish everything as you possibly. I close family, because at some point my mom and you Mombasa came to the Nairobi. And it's like 14 years old. You know, because we've kind of put, but
kidogo.
Gerard,
your
internet is trying
your
internet is trying to misbehave.
Yeah.
Pole. And it's
a bit better.
Yeah, it's okay now. You can continue. We see if it's
okay. Yeah, so the saying, we really want a very close family, because at any given time, while growing up, people in the family were at different stages. My brother is like 14 years older than me. My sister is 4 years older than me. You know, so while I'm in primary school, my sister either is in boarding, my brother has already moved out of the house or something like that. Like, we weren't really Nini at very close. But on the extended family side of it, with my cousins and Nini, there's always, we always used to look forward to Christmas for some reason, because Christmas was always the happiest time of the year, because all the family came together. You know, si kama sai Christmas by then na chicken na kula pizza na unamaliza hiyo story. Kitambo, like, Christmas was Christmas. And you'd have fun. Exactly, like there was all that cultural thing about Christmas. I don't know why. Now, for me, I remember those Christmas days more vividly than any other time of my life when I was in primary school. But yeah, again, the whole thing of getting into acting, and as to why I became an actor, is also because, like, I think that was also my escape because I became an actor when I was really, really, really young. So just to try and escape, I think, my life or something like that, I'll get into acting, and that kind of pushed me through primary school, also kind of pushed me through high school as well, because I did a lot of acting, and that was kind of one of my key solaces, actually. Even today, as to why I'm still an actor, or rather as to why I'm still in the film industry, it's one of those escape places for me, as Gerald. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe I just want to, maybe you tell us more, because everyone knows you in terms of acting. Even me,
yeah,
I used to know you through just acting, just
yeah.
I mean, I used to identify a lot with you. First,
yeah.
How can you tell this guy can act? I mean, a certain way you can tell Patrick can be able to be an actor, or this guy does not have it.
Someone, I don't know who once said that acting, good actors will make you believe anything. Okay, so given a situation, given a moment, given anything, if I believe you, I'm sold. And that also just comes to me as a casting director when I'm doing auditions. If I don't believe you, then there'll always be someone who will be much better than you, because then they end up making us believe whatever it is they're trying to perform much more. Because acting comes too close to reality, So if you can't really depict the reality of a situation, of a character, of a story, then basically that kind of doesn't make you, a good actor. And it's hard because many people you tell them now up to start acting, they feel now that they start to do I'm like, apana, you should just be as naturally as you, because at the end of the day you're trying to sell you. So if I don't believe in and actually see you actually acting, then if you fail, because then the whole point is for us to actually believe whatever it is you're telling us, whatever it is you're doing is actually true for us to sell. And that's what separates the good actors from the average actors and from the bad actors. How believable are you? Yeah.
Interesting. Maybe I'll let Daisy push a question or something, and then I'll push one in terms of family. Since you are a father, we need to talk about the transition.
I have a question for Daisy. Since it was your first time to act on Selena the other day, like, how was it for you? Like, is this something you're gonna pursue for over and over? Like, is acting something you thought you'd ever do? I'm a Rukia too.
No, actually, I really did. I do love acting. From primary school to secondary, but it takes. My father is the one who feels, he's been telling me it's time. I know you are hiding, because I've been behind the scenes in production for Miss Kenya. You are making that, and then also working with the former governor behind the scenes. So my father felt it was time that the people need to see what I can do, because he's always like, you can do so much more. I feel like you're hiding. So because I know I can, and I love it, and I enjoy it. I enjoy storytelling. That's one of my favorite things. So it's definitely, it's not something part-time for me, because now that I've been in production behind the scenes, I'm really curious about how much more I can learn and grow in front of the camera on screen now. So that's what I want to challenge myself and do now. Be on screen.
Welcome to our industry. It's a tough one, but tunakaribishwa sana.
Celebrity title. You want to maybe tag? Maybe you can talk about this later.
Yeah.
How Gerard, you handle that? It comes with also being a celebrity.
Yeah, handling celebrity. I don't know. I know it sounds cliche, and people would say, "Oh, come on, you're just being humble." But I've never really considered myself as a celebrity, to be honest. To acting again, I got into it as a career, because when I was doing acting, I was already 26 years old, and I was living a professional. Well, I was living a white-collar job, so to speak, as an IT guy, to join acting. So when I got into it, for me, ilikuwa na nimeacha kampuni moja naingia kampuni nyingine. It's a new career path which I'm following. It wasn't for me at niingia hapo kwa star nini. that doesn't mean I am not oblivious of the fact that, with this line of work, it kind of makes you get known to so many people out there. But I've never really considered myself a celebrity per se. So it never really gets to me. At some point, I think it did because, kutambuliwa na watu kila siku out of the blue where, one day you're living your private life, next day club tunasalimia kwa matatu ni aje bros tulipia fare wewe ni celebrity kuna bro bana nini like those kind of changes and adjustments are things I kind of had to get used to, and sometimes it can get too much, sometimes it can get frustrating, to be honest, sometimes it can be overwhelming. But if you remember why you did, or rather why you joined, this career path, then that kind of will take you through. Will make you survive in it. But then, kuna watu wengi wanakuwa famous. I don't know how they're surviving, because then fame is like a drug, and it's not a really good drug, to be honest. So if you keep reminding yourself that, it's a career, ni kazi by the, because tutakulipwa, parent yangu, nilele familia yangu, mtuende shuleni, jilishe and all that, then you start being more professional towards it, and it's not, you don't look at it as, mimi ni celeb sasa, unajua natembea sijui aje, nimevaa shades tao, juu sasa kupeleka na watu. My friend, kiende.
That's funny because I'm thinking, having been on set, I've kind of interacted with young people, and I've told you this several times because it annoys me when I see a young person. I think probably because I appreciate where I am, because it's taken a while for me to get to where I am. So I consider it a blessing and regard it. So whenever I see young people, they come on set and all they do is just want to take selfies, with the celebrities, not trying to learn as much as they can, not even trying to ask them questions like, how do you do, showing that interest. I get angry. So tell me about, is it an attitude that maybe I'm the one who's just feeling, or it's something that you've also noticed, and what can young people do to make this better?
We'll stop hating. Wacha kupiga masalifu na sisi days. Mimi nachukia watu. Wacha watu tuko masalifu na sisi mara nini hata tukabulike. But no, okay, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, and
taking severally with you.
I hear what you're saying. Okay, so here's the thing. Yes, I mean, even if I was to meet a celebrity I've always admired, I don't want to take pictures with them, because that opportunity will probably never come again. And also, just for my own memory's sake. But you're right. Like, if it's someone who is in a career path which I want to get to, I wouldn't just be a fan. I'd be a fan with an interest to try and learn what it is. And that's what I keep telling extras. Like, if you're new in the industry and someone gives you the opportunity to be on a set, and you meet all these other people who've made it, the key thing, apart from just taking pictures for Instagram to just show people that you've met someone, is also to try and learn from them. Like, bro, how did you, because that is how I got to where, like, I remember meeting the Liz Jaggers of the industry, the Raymond Ofulas, the Ken Ambanis, being on the same set with them, and I would call them, like, I'd even pay money to meet for, for a cup of coffee for some of them, just to try and brainstorm. I want to hear their journey, I want to hear how they got where they are. So that then, because then I know this is a career path I want to take, so that then I can either emulate what they're doing or try to even, be better than them, So yeah, I agree. It's sad that most of us will get starstruck while on set, but I'll add like many people who have cast as extra. Let's go to extra. Umekuja tu aya simama hapa kwa crowd car hapo umechoka. And maybe yes, sometimes hiyo time hakuna hiyo time ya kuuliza ama celebrity hizo maswali. But you can throw in one question which will make you stand out from the rest, and sometimes to make you learn something as you go home. Sikuwa too extra, at least you learn ABCD. And even as you're on set, you can see how the other actors are acting, how they're taking their crafts, how things are done, how cameras are rolling. So tomorrow, you never know what blocking is. So tomorrow, you never know that tomorrow you might be in that space and you at least have learned a thing or two.
Interesting.
Lakini myself is ipigwe.
Yeah. Okay, Patrick, maybe you have a question?
Yeah, maybe my biggest part I'm really interested is about transition from boys to men. I mean, even on your career, maybe there was that time you were starting as a very young person. Now you are a man. And now maybe I just want you to tell us how was the experience, and especially, and also after that, we'll talk about now as a man, because I also love being a man or someone.
Wanaume ni kuvumilia. I don't know how many people say that, but it's so true. Wanaume ni uchungu, wanaume ni kuvumilia. I mean, for the people who are religious, I think it's also in the Bible that man was meant to suffer after eating the apple. So, like, man, you will run at the whole earth, do looking for what and what and what and what. But it's kind of true, because I think what makes you a man is not even how old you are or what your age is, or if you've had sex or not, or if you've been circumcised or not. What makes you a man is how well you can handle difficulties, and how well you can overcome them, and how well you can rise up from a fall. For me, that's like the key, the biggest key issue, the biggest key factor for any man or any woman for that matter. Now that we are in an age of equality, it's not about a man anymore. It's about men and women, how we rise up from any difficulty. And those will be many, especially like in the acting career, for example, like in the film industry. The number of times you will get no's will be 10 times more than the time you'll get a yes. Going for auditions, looking for these opportunities, and many people will give up along the way. Had I given up, and I thought of giving up at some point, that nights I would cry, the nights I would also ask, like, wait, is what I'm doing right? Like, is this where I really want to be? Like, with your dreams and career, by 30, I want to have built a house where I drive 5 cars and whatnot. Like, all those dreams every man has. And then there's something called life will tells you, Baba, kuwa humble, tulia. It's not your time yet. But that drive, that need to know that it's never ever over, that drive to keep pushing you on, for me, that's what makes you a man. And it's not many people who can actually really handle that. Not so people can handle the downfalls, and yet the downfalls is what make us stronger. So that transition from boys to men, again, I think given the fact, through the hardships that I had when I was really young, growing up, through the hardships in my family and whatnot, I think I've always been a tough cookie. Things don't get to me as easily as they will the next person. And yes, they will get to me at some point. But maybe ni wale wa kuvumilia and try to find solutions and try to find ways around things. That is what has kept me going till today. So how well I am a man, I don't know if I am a man. My DNA tells me I am. My sex tells me I am. But I think for me, the biggest issue, the biggest key factor of being a man is how resilient you can be in this life, because things are tough. It's not an easy ride. Yeah.
Amazing. Daisy. Maybe before Daisy you go, just a minute.
Yeah.
There's a guy here, not sure. He has some questions. Otero, are you there? Do you have any question to Gerard?
Otero may say, hello guys, I hope this will be available for download later. This stream service is very unstable. Oi, Paul.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, you can push it to you. It will remain on the platform, so you can get it.
Yeah.
So I think he has unstable internet.
Connection. Yeah.
Just continue, Daisy.
Now, my question to you now, jumping onto the escape of relationship, from how you were raised and growing up, and now you are in that space where you found somebody whom you wanted to spend the rest of your life with. So how was that journey, and how did the things you grew up knowing versus what you know now? There's that transition. Can you just tell us about that?
Well, okay, first of all, hey, let me just admit I'm a difficult man to love. I am a difficult man. Every single day I wake up and say thank you that I still have a woman in the house who loves me and appreciates me and calls me an amazing man, even though I know I am not most of the time, or rather sometimes. Because again, you see, And I keep saying this a lot, and I see it still happening. Like children raised in single parent houses end up being children who are really difficult to love, because then our reality, our truth has always been you always end up being alone. So with that mindset, with that mindset, because then you see your parents fighting, then you know your mom went through all these things alone, and especially if the parents would never end up remarrying, for example, or getting a stepfather, which is something I still appreciate my mom for. There was no stepfather in the picture, but it's always difficult to love children who are raised by single parents. Then, especially if your spouse again comes from a perfectly neat family where the mom and dad was there, and then here comes a man who knows tutachana too, because that is my reality. Okay,
Yeah.
but then to change that, because to change that, and it's also that nowadays, like in today's society, we have so many single women. Oh, sorry, so many single mothers and even single fathers. I'm always concerned about those children, how they're going to grow up. If they don't do something to just try and reaffirm to these children that love exists, that love is there, and sometimes love may not be there, but you know, that unity, that friendship between two people has to exist, because sometimes love can disappear in marriage. The moments days I wake up, I don't love my wife, to be honest. Tumepigana, tumeargue, like but that unity as to why the two of you came together, to remind yourself as to why the two of you came together is really, again, very crucial. How you guys meet, because then I believe how a relationship is formed is how that relationship is going to end up always being. If it's formed through lies, if it's formed through mistrust, if it's formed through tulikuwa tu kwa club tukilewa tukapatana and then we fell in love, she got pregnant. I'm not saying those things don't work out. All I'm saying is how the basis of your relationship is really important. So I think ours has really worked well because of how we met. Okay, because we were both honest to each other, we were both truthful to each other. This is where I am in life, this is where you are in life, this is what I want out of life, and this is what you want out of life. Can we come together and make something out of it together? So those key values, those key quote unquote goals that the two of you had set out initially is what will keep you going. What was your question, Daisy?
You've actually highlighted it the way I needed you to highlight it. So I feel like it's been completely answered. So
okay, yeah.
So, what skills now, since you've mentioned your father, boy or girl?
Boy, sorry, what? My son, a son. It's a son, yeah, it's a son. It's a boy.
So are there values that you wanted, or the things that you needed in a father that you are now trying to make up with him now that you have him?
Being there.
Like what are some of the things that you are trying to impact onto him that you wish you'd had when you were younger?
Being there always. Being there. I mean, you see, that's the biggest lack I had. So then, me being here for my son when he needs me, is for me that's actually crucial. And sometimes that's all we need. Sometimes, to be honest, like so many people think of fatherhood as, I need to buy my son the biggest bicycle in the estate. I need to take my son to the biggest school. I need to take my son. 20 years from now, that child will not probably remember all those things. They probably remember that the fact that my father was there or he wasn't. Was my father a drunk or not? That's what they remember. Was my father treating my mother right or not? See what car we were driving or what house we lived in. Secondary needs, but the basic needs was he there for me when I needed him? Yeah.
Okay, Patrick, you have a question? Yeah.
Yeah. So when we talk about children, it's a very interesting. But yeah, do you believe really like these people are raised by single mothers don't turn up well? I mean, it's like a narrative being put out there. I mean,
sorry, umekatika kidogo, Patrick.
I'm saying, how about these children who are raised by these single mothers? Do they have a shot in life? very safe, their fathers.
The people who did what?
The children who are raised with single mothers, do they have?
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. But again, you see, I keep telling people you really can't blame your parents for how you turn out to be, because your parents can do only as much to the point where you become an adult.
Yeah.
Once you become an adult, you cannot start blaming my parents. You see, my mom didn't give me this, my dad didn't give me this. No. Yes, they tried, but you're an adult now. Yeah, and yes, that is not to take away the fact that your history and your past really determines who you are, but your now determines who you're going to be tomorrow. So just because you had a bad past, or rather you had a rough past, don't use that as your story. You need to change that story. That narrative has to change once you become an adult. And for me, it took a lot of rewiring of my mindset, rewiring of which never stops, because still today, I'm still discovering new things about myself. I'm still discovering things about me. That rewiring, being open enough to be told, Baba, watch out jinga, yo jinga, uko nayo sahi, wewe ni mtu mkubwa, you're not a child anymore. You're not living at your parents' house. You're now an adult that you need to take care of yourself. So you cannot keep living life thinking because your parents didn't buy you a bicycle when you were 5 years old, now you have to hate the world for it. Okay? And just because your dad or mom wasn't there doesn't mean now you need to hate everyone for it and have daddy issues and mommy issues. But the key thing is for you to understand why you are the way they are. And I think I really hope many human beings will take time to actually understand who they are, because that's the key thing. Why am I the way I am now? What caused me to be the way I am now? Why am I angry? Why am I always happy? Why do I... Mbona kitu kidogo itaniwasha nchada kuchapo nikasirishe mtu? Mbona hii kitu kubwa, you know? Understand why you are the way you are now. And understand where you want to be and how you can get there and change it. Because then it took for me reading a couple of books to understand who I was. Like it took me talking to you to who and reading a couple of books to understand, oh, it's because of ABCD. That is why I am the way I am now. Okay. And then it took effort and interest and willingness to want to change to become a better person. That won't happen on its own. So you see so many women living, so many people actually, women and men living angry lives. Oh, siezi marry, siezi wachali. Maybe actually I single, simply because my mom was being battered in the house. And it's fine. It's a fair argument, but you cannot use that as your story. That was her story. You have your own story to create. You have your own story to live. Yeah. So everyone has a choice. Everyone has a chance in life. Everyone, whether you're born poor or rich, the circumstances under which you're born should not determine, you know, where you should end up being. Everyone has that power to change their trajectory of life. Patrick, to our mic, mute mic.
Where have you gone to?
Yeah, Daisy, proceed.
So, if I may ask, that's like a really good narrative. So,
Yeah.
what do you think about relationships before and relationships now? Do you feel like there's somewhere where there's a disconnect? And what is your general view of relationships then and relationships now?
Tutaachana sote. Anyway, Sidai zimejua you are single. Supeo mnaachana, ona sasa.
Imagine there's just one day in this.
That's an interesting question, and I think that question always brings up different debates and theories as to answer it. But I think for the one that makes sense for me is the fact that back in the day, I think men had, quote unquote, the right or privilege to do whatever it is they wanted. If I want to marry one woman, I can. If I want to marry 2 women, I can. If I want to marry 3 women, I can. And there was nothing you'd say about it, because it was very patriarchal. It was very dictatorship kind of things. And sometimes ukiangalia pia Kenya yetu, sikusema things were bad during Moi era and things are bad now, but even during time when Moi was there, or rather, when it was the old dictatorship, things kind of used to work in a certain way. Because then that is how I see how relationships were in the olden days. The very dictatorship. Mwanaume akisema amesema. So then kiambiwa utabaki hapa, hauna choice, uende wapi, and ukishatoka kwenyu and you come into a man's house, it is your man's responsibility to take care of you. No questions asked. Tushalipa ng'ombe, tushafanya kila kitu, if I want to have 5 wives, I'll have 5 wives, and all of you are under my control. It was very dictatorial. So things used to work in a system where the man used to say everything he wanted to say and order everything, and the woman used to do everything, because then the woman used to be what? We went to pika, we were there watoto, and that was basically take care of the homestead, while the man goes out there and hustles for food, or rather to try and provide for the family. So relations back then lasted longer based on that fact. Like there was a system. There was ni kichwa ni shingo. Like it said in the Bible, like the man has to be the head, and then like the woman has to be the neck to support the man. And that is how it used to work then. Fast forward to many years later, now our women have gone to school. Our women now can work. Our women now can provide for the family. Our women are basically taking over traditional jobs which used to be left for the man. So now we have a man here and a woman here who are quote unquote equal. Okay? And then now these people everyone comes up with their own ideas and visions and background living and how they perceive things to be. Because at the end of the day, you're both equal. So now when it comes to that, which now I can call it a democracy, because that is where our country is right now, as a democratic country, and you can see how things are kind of going haywire. Because then if you still find a man who is still living that olden age where he still feels like I am the man, and you find a woman here who comes over and says, no, even me, I'm the woman. You find these squabbles and fights that happen in families nowadays, which were not there back in the day. Because then now, even me, I'm leaving, so I'm going to my house. Even me, I have a house in Runda. If you can't see me, even me, I go pay my apartment. Kitaba uko na hiyo option ya kutoka uende mahali. That is why you see most relationships not working nowadays, because based on that fact, and again, that is my theory, don't throw stones. I know that women will be like, but trust me, that is my theory, and that is what I think it is. Because again, to be honest, that is what it was. And yes, power to women, because then again, I was raised by a single mom. So trust me, I encourage women to be out there and work and provide for their families, especially if you have a man who's not providing for you. So power to that. But then the downfall to that is has been, or rather is, the fact that then you have two numes staying in the house. You have a man and a man staying in the house. You have two men staying. You have to that is not to say. That is not to say hakuna wanawake, or rather there are no women who understand the man is still the man, and that's not to say there are no men who understand that I still need a helper who's educated, and I need a helper who also works. Because even the economy times are hard now. Like one income cannot really sustain a family to live, this rich life that you want to live. So then I think it's an issue of understanding. Like again, like I told you, how the two of you meet. What goals have you guys set up together for yourselves? That's really important. Meet with what agenda, because then once you underline that fact, I think from the word go, it will solve so many issues along the way. Yeah.
So you're saying maybe the reason for meeting, how you start the relationship, define something in this relationship.
Yeah. Nikatu nyumba ukijenga, vile uteka nini foundation yako, itamtoa nyumba itagrow, itafika 10 stories ama after 2 stories imeanguka. The foundation is always really important.
So if I went to a club, I was just having fun, the line, ndio hiyo mimi niko down kwa magoti, proposal ndio hiyo.
It is itawak. Hiyo foundation si mbaya. I wish you all the best though, lakini hiyo foundation si mbaya, but basically, as in, it depends on the two individuals, my friend. Unaweza wait dem kwa matatu, wanataka wamedem kwa matatu na wameoana, ama dem kwa matatu na wameoana, ama dem kwa matatu na haijawaka, ama wamedem sijui wapi. So again, the two individuals need to have that kind of conversation. Neither anywhere, but the two of you need to sit down and have that conversation deeply, like, tuko hapa na wewe. Where do you want to go? tunapotana time, are we having fun for the next 3 months and then tuachane, or am I waiting on someone else to come to take you after I've wasted my time with you? That conversation needs to happen. Yeah.
Amazing.
I don't know why unaniingilia peke yangu. But Patrick is also very single. Very,
I think
single.
the two of you should meet on a date. The two of you muongee kando, pengine kuna kitu mimi sijui hapa. Mimi nitadwila, I'm tadwilling.
Let me just tell him out for a minute. What happened with him? Because he's always complaining. He's always like, Miss siwezi katia mtu, you know. Sijui venye nitakatia. Ati mimi nafikanga tu mahali naambia mtu wewe si mimi nakulike na wewe ni kama labda unaniona.
So to like yeah.
If yako ukasema hauwezi katia mtu. I mean
you your mic is off lang. Ulisema hivyo. Kukatia. That's what he said. So
Ajui, mpatie notes.
So you tell him probably how he can go about that, or how he can.
Wale wanaume wanashindwa kukatia, sio wale wanaume hawajui kukatia, wanajua tu kuambia mtu, you know. Mimi ni
hakuna formula. Hata nikwambia hakuna formula. Like there was a time was a guy who used pick up lines. Hey, did you just fall from the sky because my heart is just going paragasha? I don't know. There was a time for those people, you know, ukiwa kampo, ati, is your dad what? Is your dad Al-Shabaab because you just blew me away? Hey, I'm telling you. Look at our formula. But the formula that worked the most was honesty. Honesty, truth. Ongea ukweli wako, knowing it might work, it may not work. You know, uambia ukweli wako baadaye kuiko hivi na hivi. Kama wewe vile umesema tukubana ni like tulaikiane, kama unataka ipa ni sawa, tuende nini tafuta wengine, but there's a man for every woman. There's a woman for every man. Musemanga hivyo. Yeah.
Amazing.
So
easy go.
So I'm asking now, how on the aspect of the whole mental health issue, how do you just make sure that from your busy schedule and through life, and as you go through things, what are some of the things that you do to kind of protect your mental health and ensure that you remain, you know, stable and you find your balance and peace?
Speaking my truth. I think Daisy, you know me. I'm someone who will tell you. I'll tell you as it is.
Yeah.
Kama sikupendi sikupendi. Kama nakupenda. As in, it's called being authentic. You know, just speaking the truth and being true to who you are. Because I think society has put us in a place where it's slowly trying to make us to people who we are not. And deep down, you know, this would make me happy, but then you're being forced to do something which you're not. At a level, maybe on Benga wife, like before we met, you were an individual, I was an individual. Okay? There are things about you that you liked doing, and there are things about me that I liked doing. That's because you come together. Unless they're really detrimental, like, I don't know, like it's so bad to the point, Yani, it cannot be salvaged. Still remain who you are. And actually remain who I am. Okay, and I think that's the most. If be who you are. Me, anyway, I think the biggest message, if no one listens to anything I have to say tonight, is that just be who you are. Stay authentic. Stay true to yourself. Because most of these mental issues, I feel, are as a result of trying to take up too much and not being able to have a release to say, no, this is enough. Like, I've had it, like, it's too much, I cannot. Please stop. And if you can get to a point where we can actually all say that, like, please stop, like, it's enough. Siezi hiyo, sitaki, I don't care, like, because then I come first. At the end of the day, we all need to put ourselves first. That's what I'm saying. You're an individual, and I'm an individual. Don't be selfish, of course. Putting yourself first doesn't mean you become selfish. That basically means thinking about, is what I'm doing good for me or not? And if it's not, don't be afraid to say no. You know. And yes, there's certain circumstances which are beyond us, like currently, right now with Corona. No one expected it, no one saw it coming. And people have lost jobs, people's marriages are breaking up, people are financially are financially unstable, and that can get to you. That can really, push you to a wall. I know of a guy who's jumped off a building so far. One person I know who actually committed suicide because of all this Corona madness. And he never told anyone what he was going through. In fact, ni jirani ndo alimwambia, oh jamaa, someone jumped off a building, third floor, akajua. He was drunk, but he never had that outlet, someone to go speak to. And he felt ashamed coming to tell some of these things. And that is what you need, a support system. Having friends, even if not friends, having people you can actually go talk to and tell them, Baba, mimi niko hapa na hapa na hapa na hapa na hapa. So if you don't have people to talk to tell our problems, to talk to, and be true to yourself. Just be you, be honest enough to say, this is too much for me, I need help here. Then it shall get to you. It shall get to you. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you. So
yeah.
Atieno she's actually agreeing with your concept. She's saying be who you are.
Is your dad Al-Shabaab, Atieno?
Yeah, she's greetings from Sunday. So anyway, now let me get this from you, Gerald. In the concept of I think we look at those ancient years, we used to have arranged marriage. And maybe with their kind of really increased divorce cases or divorces happening in this country, I think if we could actually have those arranged marriages, they could actually be more than even in current which we are choosing for ourselves. What is your belief about marriage? I want to also say maybe Muslims practice this, and also Indians are good at this. Actually, their marriages last longer.
I want to arrange a date between Patrick and Daisy. Can I arrange that? And I arrange the two of you to get married. You make a story anyway. Arrange marriages. I don't know. Again, you see, when you love someone, I believe scientifically or biologically or whatever, there's that sexual chemistry, there's a physical chemistry, there's a mental chemistry, there's the spiritual chemistry, there's the intelligence that the two of you are actually meant for each other. Mm-hmm. Before you choose your partner and tell me, when I feel out of all my 10 boxes, at least I'm a tick 7, 8, I'm a 9, I'm a 10. Now, same thing with arranged marriages. You never know. Unaweza kuarrange your marriage ingine poa and inaweza work. And you meet someone not really like, because it's happened. But I also know of arranged marriages that have not worked, and the woman is either run away or someone ended up being killed in that marriage because our kwezana, and so hakuna feminism, hakuna feminism. So if you think arranged marriage will work for you and you are introduced to someone who actually you end up falling in love with and end up working, why not? Hakuna formula. So they say, yes, arranged marriages are good, they're bad. It depends. Who are you arranging to marry me with? If it's someone I'll end up liking and end up loving, why not? So for you two single people, Monsieur Gope, throw your fishes all over there. Throw your nets out there. You never know.
Maybe they need to try it. I mean, there's nothing.
Yeah, terrible.
Why not? It's fine. But anyway,
why not? At what?
Patrick is always obsessed with arranged marriages. We should arrange one for
Tumpangie.
You are rich. But nikusema, it's always good to know the pros and cons of everything.
Yeah. But again, you see, arranged marriage basically is someone forcing you into someone's house, yet you have no choice.
Mm-hmm.
And me, I'm pro-choice. I am pro-choose where you want to be. Yeah. So then, if you're going to have an arranged marriage and you don't, because again, arranged marriages, from what I know, is also another type of dictatorship, because then you are forced into someone's house when you have no choice to say no. So they last not because that person wants to be there, but they last because someone has actually been forced into that marriage. The way things were in the olden days, well, I talked about patriarchy, when it was the man deciding, whatever it is, he wants to do. Something with arranged marriages, for me, they kind of feel forced. They come out lazimishwa kuingia kwa hii union, and yet you don't want it. Like Indians. Like I have an Indian friend, and she's a woman, and she's still, and I think she's 35, heading to her 40s. And amekataa hiyo story arranged marriages. Like I will never and I will not, Gerald. I let me meet someone who I want to be with. If it took me 50 years, then be it. And I respect that, So usi force you into something like you really don't want to be, because slavery is imeisha, my friend.
Also,
Black lives matter.
Interesting. Let me push this before Daisy pushes one to you. Yeah. In terms of love, since we are talking about the concept of love, is it falling in love or growing in love? Do I need to love this person from day one, or I just need to love this person and I grow in love?
Me, I think when I met my wife, I knew from day one. Mm-hmm. From the first date. From the first date, I knew. Because before that, we were talking, but we never really met, So from the first date, I knew, because the conversations, how we were talking, how we were interacting, getting to know about her background, getting to know who she is as a person, the jokes I'd make, because again, people who know me, I make really crude jokes. So jokes zangu si za kila mtu. Jokes zangu za for the chosen few. Meaning that kuku insult, and yet I'm joking, but then you take it so personal, like I was joking, So like then, so the sense of humor that she had, we left that date knowing, for me personally, or rather for me, I left that date knowing, this woman is different. This woman is special. So for me, I think from the one I knew, I wouldn't call it love, but there was that spark. That spark was there, and the people who know it from the word go, the people who grow into it, So again, hakuna formula. Ikifika mambo na mapenzi, bro, matters of the heart have no formula. You do what works for you.
Daisy.
So maybe back to the aspect of mental health and social media now. Of course, given that you're a public figure, and sometimes you post something, and then the comments that come in the comment section, some of them are not so nice comments, some of them are so depressing, and there's a lot of things coming in. So like, we may post out, today I was in Zanzibar, I learned this and this and this and that, and then somebody would come like, why are you posting about Zanzibar when we are suffering in Kenya? How do you handle such comments, and what advice do you have for me, given that I unwillingly will be going into that dream? How should I handle it? Because it's one of the scariest things, that people will now have an interest in my public life, in my private life, in everything that is my business, and I'm an introvert. I like to just take a step back and watch everything. So what advice do you have for me on how I should handle that?
Block the haters. No, I mean, to be honest, block the haters though. Like, when I say block the haters, I don't mean like block them like block everyone on social media who's gonna talk bad about you. But you are right. it happens. Nakwambia kukua public, kuna nyumba ya mpya ya Calligraph anasema kukua public, kukua celeb ni ujuma, kukua celeb ni nini sijui. Kuna nyumba lipa juzi kesa kukua celeb sijui ni nini. Unafanya hivi watu nakupenda, and then the same people who loved you, I mean tomorrow you've done something else that they're all over hating on you and whatnot. So
Yeah.
I think you need to understand where it's coming from. Because again, I'm also one person who's very careful about what I post on social media. That the things I post, the things I cannot post. So I choose, I choose to be sensitive as to what I am posting, knowing very well the people who are going to see what I've posted are coming from different backgrounds, different areas of life. And I keep saying, if I'm not a professional about a certain topic, I'll not to talk about it. For example, there's a topic trending right now about Black Lives Matter. While I understand the concept, I understand. I don't think I'd go and just put a black poster on my picture or on my portfolio. Sorry, on my profile, just because everyone is doing that and because Black Lives Matter. Yes, Black Lives Matter. I understand where that comes from, but CLA to the point where I feel like, how is this going to solve the situation? Something like that's for an example. But you'll always have people coming in to hate you for you, or hate you for what you do, and you need to understand where that hate is coming from. Some hate is good because the people who only are saying things which you need to listen, give an ear to. If I post a video about my acting, for example, and someone comes and tells me, "Oh, Gerald, I feel like here there you need to improve on ABCD," that's criticism, and I know it's a thin line between hate and criticism, and that thin line, I always say, is divided based on how you express and put your point across. If you come here telling me F you, and use big words and start insulting me and my family, my friend, utakula block. Si cheka na wewe. Hakuna time ya kubishana na wewe kwa hapo, but like I always say, why do you let someone who you can easily get rid of out of your life through the click of a button stress you? Why? Could have to block, my friend. But then the people who, they're friends and they're haters, and 1 minute they like you, the next, if you do something wrong, they put you into place, and it's fine. I want to kubaliwa, because again, always ishi maisha bila kuwa na haters, always ishi maisha with everyone agreeing with you. That is a given fact. So either ignore, that basically means get a tough skin, Daisy, because you need it. Living a public life needs a tough skin. But then the people also who you just need to just get rid of. Imagine my sharp with songa tumbele. Also go party and they block the sound, you could block here because you as a human being, the people living right now in your personal life who you don't have to talk to. Mm-hmm. So why can it be doesn't it's someone, it's a stranger who I've never even met in your life, just because I'm a celebrity, I'm a public figure, now I should take every comment that comes my way. No. I choose. It's my profile. I am the admin of my profile. If I block you, I'll block you. Simple as that.
Interesting. Yeah. Even Candy Joy, she's a blogger. She's saying a post doesn't define who you are. It's for information.
Yeah.
The best way to hate on FB is don't carry feelings to FB. Take it for fun.
Yeah. Grow a tough skin. It's exactly like you need to grow a tough skin. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you need to understand what social it's called cyberbullying is real as well. Like take it as fun, but there are things that will actually get to you. At the end of the day, I'm still human. Itakuwa fun for the first 4-5 days, but then whether kuna mimi nimdono kila siku just because it's fun and check it as fun. That is personal, my friend. Even in personal, you don't see fun anymore. It was fun and games when you were laughing, but at this particular point where now it's really personal and it's really affecting me, it's not fun anymore. Mm-hmm. So then you take control of your life. Like there are people who will just be out there to try and just put you down always. So then you decide who you want to have in the social media platform.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe I want to push this to you, Gerard, before Daisy comes. Yeah, but I hope that friend of mine won't listen to this. There's this question about sponsors. About sponsors.
Patrick!
sent to this. No, because where we have this idea that let me give you an example. Like a lady is just finished her first. She did very well, maybe first class honors, and then she meets a guy who already has it with a mansion and everything. She marries the guy. Then the guy is treated. And then this lady had a guy who really loved her. Okay, if we are talking about love. Now, later, this lady is like now coming back to the guy, telling the guy, like, this other guy is mistreating me. What's your position on sponsor? I just want to understand your position on sponsor. Because men like us who are young are lucky, but these are real.
Is this a personal story, Patrick? Hii ni confession yako ama ni mtu mwingine? Nakushukuru sana yani. Nakushukuru sana Patrick. Sasa look, sponsor is not something which is new to the world now. This has been there from way back. Hata kwa Biblia nani alikuwa what's her name? Nimesahau. I'm not very good with my Bible though, but I know kuna stories za wenye. Sorry?
This is a pastor.
Atuambie, because even the Bible echo where women have slept with men for money, or women have been with men for wealth, or women have been. So this is not something new. But again, it goes back to our primal instincts as men, where we've always been the providers. We've always been the ones to take care of the women. That is back in the day. So some things even till date haven't really changed. Same thing with women who come from that background of, I know a man is not supposed to take care of me. Of course, then we still have this new class of women who have now gone to school, who are working, and so don't depend on sponsorship and don't depend on, quote unquote free things. Is there love in that? I really cannot tell, because me say equal sponsor. I'm not rich enough to be someone's sponsor. Maybe the day I become a millionaire to be someone's sponsor, I will know what goes on. But it's not something I can really condemn, because it's an issue of willing buyer and willing seller. If the man is ready to be someone's sponsor, and this lady is okay being cheaped and being treated with buyer because of money, alijipeleka hapo, unless ni mtoto. But kama ni mtu mkubwa, alijipeleka mwenyewe hapo, si ndio? Sio mtoto wadogo. So hiyo ni kati yao wawili. What happens between a man and a woman in the bedroom, hiyo ni shauri yao. Mimi I cannot judge. It is the same at it's right, it's wrong. Hey, unless the day I do it, sawa, but sijui. But maze usichi mbaya sababu ya pesa. Mitasema tu hivyo. So you as a woman who has a sponsor who's treating you buy and you're there because of the money, mama, have some pride. Have some pride. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, maybe Joy. Maybe you can ask Gerard a question, or you can bring your perspective to this discussion.
Kuhusu nini? Kuhusu sponsore? Daisy, uko na sponsor?
Joy hapa anaweza kukuuliza swali.
My own sponsor.
Your own sponsor. Wacha Yesu ite Bwana.
Patrick.
Yeah. Okay, Joy, yeah. Continue.
Yeah. I don't have much to say. Sababu mambo ya sponsor, I don't understand it so much. Sababu inategemea. It depends from a woman ready to another ready.
Yes.
Being a sponsor is not. It's not for all. It needs somebody with a very humble heart.
Yeah.
But some people, like from certain communities, they cannot withstand the pressure that comes by the handouts.
Yeah.
So I don't know much about it, because I'm a type that cannot entertain shit. So I've never tried one.
Jaribu, Joy, Jaribu. What do you have to lose?
I cannot manage because I can't even reach there.
Jaribu, Joy.
I don't know how to beg. I don't know how to bend. I don't know anything.
And that's
So
what I'm
it's
saying.
not
Have your
easy.
pride. Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
Have your pride.
Yeah. That's
I
that's
agree.
why
So
I
Gerard,
agree.
you
Yes.
see, she's bringing an aspect of being from a certain community. You know, maybe
Yes.
I don't think it's now seems like any woman can be a
Yeah.
can be sponsored. It's not about a community in Nairobi.
Yes. But the women who actually sponsor men as well. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yes.
So
I think it's all about people wanting to grow in life at a much faster rate, and I think this group, what's it called? These millennials. I know I'm a millennial as well, but this group of millennials who want things done faster. Ile patience ya kukaa na kuhustle na kufika mahali, like the patience our parents had to build a house. Most of our parents built their house when they were 40 and 50. My mom, I think, bought a car when she was in her 40s. This is due to the capacity towards you by 20, I need to drive, by 30, I need to have my own house. Your pressure is umetoka wapi, and that pressure is what is making some people do these things that they're doing now.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Daisy?
No, I think I'm exhausted with all my questions and everything. I'm just looking forward now to hearing what we can do better for life. If probably Langiri can give advice on that.
On what?
On how we can do better in life. Like you've said about you, like patience. Patience is there that we don't have now. What are some of the qualities, like 2 or 3 qualities that you wish or you encourage for people to have now?
Have goals, have a plan. Have goals, have a plan, stick to your plan. Have integrity to actually stick to your plan, and be ready to adjust, because you can have a goal, you can have a plan, and then be so adamant towards your goal and plan to the point that always you're like thinking your ship is sinking, but apana, your ship I sink, your ship in a sink, my friend. Ikonashima, your ship I sink. Be ready to readjust, because life doesn't work that way. Again, I give an example of Corona. Who knew Corona would have finished up? No one knew, no one had planned for it. For people who are suffering, there are people who still have their mindsets on, it should not be, but then it's been like this for 3 months now. If you're still stuck in that mentality of to do sleep people, readjust yourselves. Things are not working, have a new plan. So far this is what's happening. What can I do next? And just don't give up. Life ni ngumu as it is. We don't want quitters. Yeah. So for me, that's my takeaway. Have a goal, have a plan, be patient, work towards your plan, but be patient and also be ready to readjust yourselves. When things aren't working, you still know the goal. You still know the goal. Have a different plan. Sit down and always readjust your life. I still readjust my life till date. Sija act for the past how many years? I think 2-3 years, Jack, because I've been behind the scenes. I miss acting, but when a baby came on board, I had to readjust myself and think, okay, acting can stay for a while, but here there's something else coming up, behind the scenes. So let me take this up, because I know at least this one person can get in gear opposed to what acting was giving me, But I miss acting, Yeah, so have a goal, have a plan, stick to your goals, make sure your plans are in such a way you can always readjust them when things don't go quite the way they are, and be patient. Be patient. And there's a guy called Frida. Oh, sorry, it's a lady called Frida saying, if you're consistent, you'll maintain your success. And consistency as well, yeah. Thank you, Frida, for that. Consistency is really important as well.
Amazing. Great. So, Daisy, maybe you can say your last thing and then we just wind up. But Gerard, we want to say maybe we need you back soon.
Okay. Na hii mchingenyo ina chai, mimi ni Mluya bana. Hakuna kakuku mazee next time mazee. Chai, mkate, mahali, mandazi. Mnaje kwa meeting? Mkituma email.
David ndio konsari wako ama?
David sponsor wangu. Acha Yesu aite Bwana. Ni nini Daisy? Utaolewa na Yesu, usijali 2030. Acha Yesu aite Bwana.
Kana hiyo story
2030 man, vision 2030. Hata nikwambia kuko single si vibaya Daisy. Wewe, if you're happy my friend, stay single. When you're ready, you'll be ready. Patrick, if you're happy being single, stay single.
No hurry enough. Yeah.
Ina formula hiki tu, ina formula.
Great. You want to say something? We just finished.
Yes, let's finish.
Yeah.
Awesome, Jen. I really been a great, maybe fun. This is fun, and we need to do it again. We can talk about something else. Asante sana.
Chukua selfie. Ama uzipiga selfie na kwa nini? Uzipiga selfie kwa simu.
Muhimu, selfie muhimu.
Selfie muhimu.
By the way, very hard. Yeah, we are hoping that after the 6th of June, tutapigwa na butwa, you know.
Actually, na butwa.
Let's hope that people in Abuto, because getting him would be very hard now. So you will be filming, I'm sure.
Nitakuwa kuja usijali. When you Daisy, you know me. When you need me, I'll be here.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Good night. Good night. Bye.
Bye.
Amazing.
Nitalipa boda boda, achana mwendo kasi, usijivane pale. Ewe binti maringo, sijui wanisikia. Pendo lako nicheze bingo, wenda nikajishindia.